Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. Today you're in for a treat because we're going to have a three-fer in this video. That's right, 3 different recipes all together. The first one that we're going to do is we're going to cook off some octopus. I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. The second one is we're going to get a quick pickle on some red onions. And the third one is we're going to make an easy salsa where we throw everything in a blender and make some magic. Now, in front of us, we got a lot of ingredients, so I'm really not going to take a lot of time to name every one of them off. We're just going to put some ingredients right here on the sides of the screen, and we'll continue. And as we go, I'll put those ingredients back up. The first thing that we're going to do is cook off our octopus. Now, behind me is a pot of boiling water, and I'm going to show you all the things I like to put in there to add extra flavor to it, because adding flavor to your octopus is very important. In front of us, we have our octopus. I don't know if you can see that right there, but we have a beak. I'm going to show you how we cook it and then take it out and continue with that. So let's get started, shall we? Now, before we cook our octopus, we got to get some flavor into this water. What I like to do is get a cup of white wine, pour that in there. We're also going to get a whole onion, put that in there as well. Get some seasonings. Now, I like to go with paprika, coriander, a little sugar, along with some salt, some pepper, and we're going to put this in there as well. Then we're going to get a couple tablespoons of garlic. Let's bring this up to a boil, and then we'll start cooking off our octopus. Water's boiling. It smells great. Now we're going to put our octopus in. What I like to do is I just like to slowly put it in there, only because I want to keep this water on a slight boil. We don't want it to get too cold too fast. So let's do this. All right, we're going to cover this back up. We're going to get it down to a simmer, and we're just going to let that cook for about 30 minutes. We'll check it again, and then we'll go from there. While our octopus is cooking, all we're going to do is pickle our red onions. So we've got about a half cup of red wine vinegar and a quarter cup of rice wine vinegar. In here, there's a half teaspoon of sriracha salt, sugar, oregano, and garlic powder. All we're going to do is just mix this all together. Get a spoon. Mix that up. And what I like to do is slice up our onions very thin. So we're going to go from this to this. Now, let's just put our onions into our vinegar. And we're going to let that pickle for about an hour and let all those flavors marry together. All right, our salsa, very easy to do. The recipe is a half cup of mayo, 1 bunch of cilantro, the juice of a lime, a handful of spinach, 1 bunch of green onions, green part only, either 1 whole jalapeno or 3 small peppers, salt, pepper for flavor, and call it a day. Okay. It's been about 30 minutes for our octopus. We're going to let this go on a lower heat for another 15 minutes, and then we'll be ready to take it out. It's been about 45 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this out and let it cool off for about 20 minutes, so that way we can handle it. And all those onions, make sure you keep those as well. After all of our cooking, it's shrunk down a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to get a knife, and we're just going to cut this down the middle, so that way we can get our beak out. I always like to keep the head, because there's a lot of flavor in the head as well. Right here is our beak. We're just going to cut that out. You might have a little bit more just right there. Next, what we're going to do is we're just going to do individual tentacles. And what I like to do is get a couple slices on the head as well. And all this stuff in here, we're going to rinse this out. We're going to grab just a little bit of our salsa and just drizzle that over the top of our octopus. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of rub it all over. Now, I don't recommend adding any salt because I seasoned the water a little heavy, which is not a bad thing. But next, we're going to heat up our cast iron, add a little bit of some oil, and we're going to sear all this off. All right, now that we've got that char on everything, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this out of our pan. We're going to set that aside and get some tortillas cooked up and put this all together. we're going to get a couple of these tentacles and just slice them up. Now let's put this all together. In order to put them together, some of the onions that we had from our braising liquid, if you want to slice them up, by all means, go for it. I like to throw one in at the bottom. Couple corn tortillas. Get your octopus right in there. Then our salsa, we're just going to get a little bit over the top. And last but not least, a little bit of some pickled onions. And now we get to try everything. The richness of that salsa, the brightness of those onions, the soft texture of the octopus. Overall, I'd make this again and again. Anyways, I hope you learned something today. Make sure that you follow me on social media. Chef Stephen Gonzalez on Facebook. Chef Steve Gonz on Instagram and Twitter. Also, go to Chef Stephen Gonzalez to get a copy of my cookbook, Get Your Grub On, where this recipe may not be in there, but there's a lot of great recipes for you. Anyways, we'll catch you later.